Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to day 3 of the Xsolla sessions here in San Francisco. We've got a fantastic panel talking about finding your path into the gaming industry. Welcome to the stage, the wonderful panel.
Slides back.
I know.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. I know it's a busy week. Yeah. How you guys feeling?
Good.
Great.
It's been so fun.
Tired? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for coming to the Xsolla talk during GDC. I know everybody have a busy schedule. I really appreciate your time here. Quick self-intro. I am Josephine Friday. I'm the VP of our Xsolla Global BD team. Me and my team, we actually provide solutions for mobile developers. Some of them may called D2C, direct-to-consumer web shop. So we build a solution for them so they can generate more revenue beyond the traditional app stores. So more revenue and more engaged users. And so basically, happy publishers, happy me. Yeah. That's what I do on the business side.
Hi everyone, I'm Brianna. I'm the head of core data insights at Warner Brothers Games. So we are a game developer and a publisher. So we develop our games and we publish on both mobile and console platforms. And my team owns the core data insights that powers game development, publishing, revenue reporting. So we have a pretty close collaboration with Xsolla on Web Store.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Sophia Lisaius. I also work at Xsolla, and I'm the VP of People and Culture, so I oversee our human resources function, and I help people every day find their path into the gaming industry. So I'm so happy to join this conversation, and thank you for hosting. It's so fun. Yeah,
I know. So I actually, I was a little nervous because I definitely saw most of the guests today. Actually, they're experts. They're the developers. Yeah. So this is just a casual chat. Since we all work in the gaming industry and we play different roles. So I think I will consider this like a casual, fireside chat. We talk about the career, how you start in the gaming, working gaming company. There's any stories you want to share, and because I personally I'm still building my career, trying to connect more. Yeah.
Do you want?
Yeah.
Do I say?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, so I think full disclaimer, I've said it in many talks, is that I am not a game player. I didn't grow up playing games. I think the most games I've played are like Sudoku and Wordle and crosswords, many offline games. So my stumble into the gaming industry was completely accidental. I was looking for roles that are very metric-driven companies that leverage metrics to data to make business decisions, and luckily I stumbled in. I got a job at this gaming company that was known for being very metric driven. That's how I got involved into the gaming industry. But as time goes on, I've been involved for over 60 titles at this point.
60.
Probably, yeah. I feel like we just churn out games, multiple games every year, so it keeps stacks up. Yeah. I've been enjoying my tenure in the gaming industry, and it's been a great journey. Yeah.
I love that. I also stumbled into the gaming industry. I have played games though growing up my whole life. I didn't want to go to a job interview that I got through a staffing agency, and I was like, it was a long process of interviews, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to go. My mom was like, you have to go, and I was like, okay, I'll go. And then it completely changed my life, and it's been so wonderful. I went to college for design. I thought that I was going to be a set designer. Like I thought there were a lot of things in my path that, you think of one thing one day and the next day it's completely different. Mm-hmm. And so I think my situation is that I love problem solving and a lot of finding solutions and making other people happy. And I think stumbling into an office manager position at Xsolla, which then has led me into HR, has been such a wonderful journey because it's not always about the job that you start with, but how can you use your skills and things like that to get to the place that you want to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so speaking of college, I think we have probably similar, past. So gaming is my second career, to be honest. So honestly, I never thought about working gaming because back in college, because I grew up in China, I majored in literature. I want to be a journalist. I want to be a writer. I still writing. I've been writing for 7 years, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm so proud of that. Yeah,
Good job.
I know. Yeah, well, that's like my little hobby. So I started my first career in China. I was working at Fortune 500. I was a Mars, Mercedes-Benz. I do sales operation and then later transferred to digital marketing. I think that's how kind of connected what I'm doing right now. So always in corporate jobs. So how I end up in gaming, yeah, I know. So yeah, after I basically moved to San Francisco, oh my gosh, there's a lot of opportunities, but a lot of opportunities like, hey, look at your resume, you have to in tech, you're a coder. Nobody cares about Fortune 500, yeah. But I think, it's really hard to start. I have to rebuild my career. I have to forget in whatever I have built in Asia. So San Francisco, what I do, the tech companies, where the innovation, started. So I want to stay with, people who innovate, be creative. Also, I want to be the tech side. And also, I want to build connections, right? That's how you build a career. I got tons of interviews, and so I started actually mobile advertising monetization. I was seller, SDK. Oh my gosh, it's very challenge. But the good part is, it's a very mobile. Gaming is very data driven. I remember every time, 8 a.m. I look at the data. What's the revenue last 20? Yeah, you know this. Yeah, data, and then I end up in a conversation always, with there's some of the engineers or the PMs because this is SDK. Yeah. So I feel lucky. I learned a lot of technical, those concept ideas from the first job. So now I'm the Xsolla, and this is also new. I would say Xsolla also opened the door for me because I was always working with the mobile publishers, but Xsolla is a unique place because we have all the solution, but also fundamental is the payments, which I'm excited because I love making money. I'm the business person, because I love the, it's a win-win situation, right? My partner's happy and I'm happy, So, and also it's very data-driven, lots of forecasting. You're a data scientist, and to me on the business side, I love looking at numbers and figure out the path and to help everybody to grow. Yeah, I know. That's I'm still excited. Every day I wake up. So this is why everybody talking about GDC. I'm like, everybody come to my home base. Yeah.
I feel like I find a common pattern here is like when a lot of people think about gaming, it's about game design, it's about community building, it's about making a fun game, but there's so much backhouse business operation that's happening, right? Like you work on SDK integration and sales, and I work on data, and then you work on HR, right? It's so multifaceted, and it's not simple as like, oh, we just make a fun game and we'll make money. Maybe it has happened a few times, but more frequently it's more about excellence of operation and various disciplines all pitching in, be metric driven, and approach with this operational excellence mindset. Yeah.
And I think that's also a great point to mention that the path that you enter gaming might not be exactly as like a community manager or something like that, where there are some very popular positions, but it's also a business. And so there are so many positions that if you are great with accounting or if you're really good with organization, there are other ways to enter. And then so many wonderful companies have great training programs. So it's great because you can shadow people, or if you want to do internships or anything like that, like all of the companies want that. They want help, they want support, they want to keep growing and being the best that they possibly can be. And so it's not always that you have to go after one position to do it.
I remember I ran into some game designers in my past game studios, and they used to be QA testers or game testers, right? They would go into someone else's garage and play their game and then get feedback, and that's how they iterate the games. But nowadays, with acceleration of technology, we are outsourcing it to oversee. We're using AI to leverage some of the testing. There's less of that human touch. I feel like the barrier of entry for like just purely based on your passion for games is there's less opportunities on that part, but I feel like on the professional side, right, there's still so much opportunity for folks to get involved.
Oh,
Yeah,
completely.
exactly.
Yeah.
So because today we're also talking about finding your path into the gaming industry. One actually was talking to a student this week. Said, hey, I play game, but I'm not really. I cannot play all the games, but if I want to work in the gaming industry, because it feels like sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning it. You don't have to dress formally. You can just wear sneakers, run. So is there any advice you want to give to the young folks who want to get into the industry?
I think a big part, and we're at GDC, so I think that this helps as well, but networking, it will help you tremendously. The community is so small, but also so big, and so one person that you meet here today could give you your job tomorrow. And also the person that may give you the most opportunities is not always someone that looks exactly like you or is from your hometown or works at your dream company. So I think being ready to say yes and take on opportunities is a huge, it's a huge first step. And this could not be a better time at GDC to do that. And there are so many people that want to help people. So I think it's building those relationships and networking, just kind of being true about what you want to do. And then I will say that on the other side, applications, we get an overwhelming number of applications at this point. AI has supported the application process, but it has also made it overwhelming. If we post a job, sometimes we have 1,000 applications by the end of the day because they're using agents to help. And so it's great that you can use AI in that method, but also everyone may be using it too. So by building those relationships and getting a referral, even if they have a referral link, I would highly recommend. That's like a great first step into the world that you want to work in.
Yeah, so I want to back on to the first point just mentioned. So this is GDC is one of the big conference. So you don't have to be a professional to come to the conference, right?
No.
Yeah, but these are the professional gathered, just go there, meet people, join sessions or play games,
Yeah, exactly. And we have the clubhouse here today, and we would love for everybody to stop by and come by to the sessions. And I'm happy to do a quick interview. I'm happy to do a resume screen if anybody needs help. I'm always welcome. But so anybody that needs that, I'm happy to do that today. We're going to share some links and things like that later on. But happy to help with that. Yeah.
Is there anything?
My recommendation, well, I think coming from a technical background, I would say definitely hone your technical skills and also bring in the relevance between your technical skills to whatever business and whatever game that you are interviewing for or what you are trying to work at. So I've talked to this CEO at this gaming company, and he told me he has interviewed people who have never even played their game. I was like, whoa, that's just mind-opening. I can't imagine how that's possible because in order to work at some company, you have to know their product, right?
Yes.
And then that's like the first thing that you do when I talk to someone at a gaming company is like, okay, what games do you guys have? What kind of methodology? What kind of strategy you're using? Like, what are some components of your gameplay, right? How you're distributed? Like, these are all the business terms and business structures that we think about when we think about a game. So when you are interviewing or when you are considering applying for a company, try to think like if your skills can be applied to a gaming company, right? Like how your skills can be applied to that company. So maybe if you are trying to interview for a smaller scale indie developer, maybe they will have less need for desire for like general publishing or accounting or financing, right? Because that's probably done in-house or with like one outsourced consultant. Whereas if you're looking for like a big publishers like Warner Brothers Games, EA, or like Ubisoft, there will be a lot of those central corporate functions that you can get your foot into the business. And once you're in the business, like you said, right, like you can transfer to other roles and then start mingling and creating your network so that you can get into other functions.
Yeah, totally.
That's totally, yeah, I totally agree. You know, whoever your interview or talk, at least do your homework.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to be like, you don't have to play like, weeks or whatever.
No, you don't have to be like the top 1%, right?
Exactly.
But at
Don't
least
have to
go
be
through the Fatui.
Yes. Yes. You have a basic general, concept
Right, of the
information.
gameplay,
Exactly. Yeah. I think, well, I mean, I don't want to mention my age, but, this is my second career. I think no matter you're in gaming or other industry, so this is what I learned. I also personally, I wish I learned, when I was in college is, I think no matter where you are, where you work, find a mentor, find somebody to open the door for you.
Yeah.
So I think there's a famous book called Who, Not How.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is always find the person. That's why I also mentioned come to JDC, right? If you put your foot in the door, So find that person. The person may either powerful, will have a connection, or have a skill set, later it can guide you and open the door for you. I think that's also important. Come to the smaller organization, even like you have 10 people startup, there always somebody could be your mentor. I remember my first mentor, I was, lucky, and, I literally just, once I heard, that guy's background, because he actually used to be a professor in one of the top universities in China, and he said, no, I'm done. I don't want to be a professor. It's boring. I'm still young, middle age, so okay, I want to join the faster growing company. So he joined this. Okay, I don't want to mention the name, but anyway, people can. Yeah, he's on Google. So and he's the first employee, but they said, we don't have this, but he speaks English. We don't have the right job for you. But hey, we need a IT manager who just plug in.
Yeah.
I know. He said, okay, I'm willing to do that because he want transfer. He want to be like more international. So he joined this. First off in China and be an IT manager, and then he turned out, opened the door. He be the first general manager at the McDonald's China. Wow. First McDonald's, oh my God. And he said, oh my God, I see the stars, I see everybody, hey, they want a free meal because that's McDonald's, the first McDonald's in China. So that's kind of, open up his second career and how now he's managing the supply chain of that company. He's managing a factory, that's, think about your teaching in the college. So he was my first mentor. He said, that's why he said, Josephine, no matter which company you join in the future, take more trainings and talk to the trainers and also talk to the people who work in the core team. You define the core team. And another also the advice I got, I would say recent years, especially when I lived in the Bay Area, California, is always, I know everybody, when I put it on resume, when you want to talk to people, of course you want to show the best part, but also there's way too much, right? Think about I have like 20, lines of a skill set, but people don't have time for that. We understand. It's not like they don't respect you, but you understand the situation. So always identify yourself. So if you look at the people around, so basically 4 types of people. Are you a seller? You builder? You're creator, you're hustler, right? So I know some of here are they are the builder, and for example, people in gaming, they designer, they are creator. I think that's really good concept. You don't forget about people manage skill, communication skill. Identify who you are. So I think I'm a seller. I'm also a builder. So this is really important. Then you can narrow down your skill, what you're really good at, what impact you can bring your team or to your company. Also learn from somebody else.
I love that. I just to the point also that you said about skills and stuff, like what you think that you might be great at, you might be great at something else too. So it's also like, and I know I just said this, but just try to say yes a little bit more in some ways of saying like, I do want to try that. I want to put myself out there. I want to, work on this project. And if it fails, that's totally a bummer, but it also is a learning opportunity. And that it's like when you flip a coin, you already know the answer when the coin's in the air. So it will kind of get you a step further of what you want to do. So yeah totally.
Absolutely. I feel like even for us who have been in this career for a long time, it's still a continuous learning journey where I always go to industry event to self-educate and watch webinars and learn about new technologies. I feel like I'm the crossbreed of both data and gaming, but also in marketing and publishing. And there's always new movements and new trends. And then in general development, there's AI as well, right? But in data, there's always new databases, there's new orchestration tools, and you always have to keep up to date to okay, what is the hottest thing? Because maybe next day you have to migrate to the other new tool, or you have to consider all these different vendors and figure out what is the best way to modernize your database and your tool, your tool stack to make sure that you're optimizing at the optimal state, right? And then when it comes to marketing and publishing, it's so disruptive in the last, I would say, 5 years, right, with a lot of the privacy initiatives. And I'm all for privacy, right? But it has been very disruptive to the operation of how marketing and publishing goes. So my knowledge 10 years ago will not apply to whatever operation that we do today, right? And then every year with AI empowered, our operation, I feel changes and what is the next big thing, it keeps on changing, and we have to also keep up to date with everything that's happening.
That's a very good point. I was having a conversation with another entrepreneur recently. I think because we both, work in the different roles for a long time, and that's I said, let's look back. What do you think of most the top 3 skill set, right? So one of the things is, I said, learning skill. It's easy to say, but it's not. It's hard. That's what you just meant. Keep learning. It doesn't matter you're 20, 30, 40, 50, because there's so much new information, technology, like you mentioned.
I mean,
AI.
Xsolla.
Yes. Oh my God.
You guys are a disruptor.
Yeah. We're a computer too.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because that's one thing, even my team, I'd say, so I said, every week at least 2 hours on my calendar, I need to learn. I learn our product, because there's always something going on, and you don't want to end up in the conversation. Oh, let me go back check my team, but you always web yourself. Yeah, and also every now when our kids go to bed, and that's why I feel why I'm so tired, because all those new technologies, things, the AI or the agents, is so fascinating, because I don't want to, in the precision, in a couple of years, oh my gosh, my job will be replaced. I need to keep learning and keep, be open to all the new things, right? You don't have to be expert, but explore and learning.
Oh, totally. And I think the other part with the learning and even with AI, if AI is going to, I hope AI doesn't replace everyone's jobs, because then what would we do? But I think the best part is that AI can make everybody's job so much better, and it's only going to make you get to do the cooler stuff about your job, rather than having to do some of the more mundane tasks, which I also think is very exciting for some of the folks that are maybe in that more of the corporate role, where it's that they had to deal with a lot of spreadsheets or had to deal with a lot of administrative work or whatever that may be. That can kind of be removed, and then you get to elevate your position to be so much, bolder and bigger and doing more of the fun stuff, as I like to call it. But then to learn it all, there's new stuff every day. You don't have to be the expert, but as long as you're willing to learn it, it's evolving, and what you were hired to do 3 years ago may not be what your role is anymore. And so it's the adaptability and flexibility that this community and this kind of world requires. But it's really fun. I think it's exciting to get to learn about it, and I think it's so wonderful when you have a company that wants to support you through that. So again, if you're willing to do something like that and keep learning, then I think that's one of the best skills you can have. Yeah.
That's great. I know we also have some professionals sitting here. Do you want to give me open the floor?
Yeah, anything.
I will think this is an open conversation. I love to hear everybody's story or the experience or the advice. I need advice still. Yeah. Do you? What do you think?
Oh, I'm happy to open anything up.
Yeah.
We can do. I think also we had some other folks and stuff like that. Sorry, the lights are blinding, and I can't see everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if my mic is on, but I would love to know what has been the most rewarding part about being in the gaming industry.
Wow.
I mean, the people. I'm so biased because I work in HR, but it's the best part. Everybody's so smart and so cool and so fun, and everybody makes this community, you know? And it's so rewarding when you get to see, I mean, this is for me, but when I get to see someone grow and get promoted or start a new business or something like that, I love it. It's so cool. And then everybody's so innovative and they want to be better. And I think video games is at the front line of a lot of these emerging technologies. And so it's so rewarding when you get to hear from an expert or someone that's so passionate about a new technology that you just want to go and support them. So I love seeing what people can do. And it's been so wonderful. And like, I mean, I've been going to panels and I don't even know what the topic is, but seeing someone that's stoked about talking about things, it's the coolest. So yeah, the community, the people, that's my favorite part for sure.
Similarly, I would say it's definitely the people, and then I would say it's also the passion and pride that people have for the industry and for the product that they produce. The passion for gaming is definitely contagious because look at me, like I didn't think about gaming, I never cared about gaming, and then once I'm in this industry, I feel like I'm stuck. I mean, happily
but in a good
stuck.
way.
Yes, happily stuck. I am surrounded by a lot of legendary game makers, and like I have been like an honor roll students, like growing up, like I love looking at the credits. Like at the end of a lot of our console games, we publish the credits, and then even though you have to wait like 40 minutes to see the credit, but you know, still seeing your name up there, it means something. Like you really came together and built something that enticed people, entertained people, and it took up a lot of time. Like I don't know if I would be happy working at a cereal company or like a shampoo company, right? Like, but like working at a gaming company and going to like say school events where students would come up to you to be like, hey, I loved playing Mortal Kombat, or I loved Hogwarts Legacy, I got a free copy, you know, like it was like, oh, good for you. You know, that really makes you feel like, oh, I did something that is relatable to people and is exciting.
Oh, that's, definitely agree. And to me, I think there are two parts. One is I'm so close to, because I talk to the PMs, the producers all the time. They're my target audience. Have a chance to talk, no matter big or small studios, the people who are creative. To me, that's so fascinating because I grew up in a country we have to follow by the rules. Creative, I would say, not as a thing, right? Because they want everybody to be like this. So that's why I'm so fascinating. I think, oh my gosh, because also I have to test all the games. I have 3 test-phones and to test it in the new games or different gameplay. I said, wow, I never thought about this. And when you talk to them, like you mentioned, you can see the spark in their eyes.
Yes.
Why? Because people working in gaming, because especially the developers, you know, a publisher, they're passionate. This is the thing they're really passionate, right? It's not like, I want to make a million. So, So that's the thing I really, to me, also kind of, you know, encourage, you know, to stay here. I want to help them because making games so hard, to be honest. Yeah, we know it's so hard. And I know like indie developers also struggle because we all have families, right? You want to make a living, but you don't want to give up on your dreams. So I think to me, so oftentimes in business, I think one of the mission is I really hope the solution, even like a small, you know, integration, I hope you guys can grow, engage your user because because this is what I do. I'm a business. I'm just like a glue and put all it together. And if you know, more users know your game, can download, play your game, you can make a living. You can continue the journey. I think a mission complete. That's really So with the creative side, the other things are just like connection and also connect with users. I joined some offline. So this is not the online gaming because I play board games. I'm a big fan.
I love
we need to connect because I'm also in a puzzle club.
Oh, cool.
I will show you my collections.
Okay.
I'll show you. Because me and the neighbors, you know, we have a game night every.
Oh, cool.
Is that cool? Yeah,
I love
right?
it.
Yeah, we play video games too, but also, I think board games is a little underrated. Yes. So,
and you can get competitive in real life.
Yes. So that's why so game community, you engage with the users. I think to me, that's one thing I learned about. You need to also find your community.
Yeah.
This is something I didn't know when I grown up or back in college. I think finding your community is so important. So I'm part of the board game community. Yeah.
I love that.
I know, right? Yeah, to connect
love board
people
games.
from different industry, and it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will talk more after this.
Yeah,
But
I wanna see your collection.
one thing I do want to add is look at the panel here. We are all women, right? Like I feel like
Okay, I didn't mean to.
no, it's okay. But I mean, like I think a lot of people when they think about gaming industry, it's very male dominated, and hey, that's not always the case. There's actually a lot of female creators, female game designers, female game developers, and the operators here, right?
And speaking of that, just reminds me. Last year, I was because I was in Peninsula, I was in like offline game developer entrepreneur meetup. So actually, I met a lawyer. She was a lawyer, and now she's a game developer. She said,
Cool.
I said, let's just connect that.
I was like, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
I know. Well, she's new. She says, I want to learn, but I just want to build games.
That's cool.
Great.
Okay, don't let legal team to hear that.
No, I was like,
But, yeah.
we love our legal team. Please don't all leave. But no, but that's so fun because you get to find your path, and it's not always linear. It's not always one direction, and so it's so great.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, yeah, we're all ladies up here, but then it's also so fun because the community is kind of leveling out in a way. It's becoming more equal in terms of demographics, and so it's super great because I think the gaming community is wonderfully inviting. I think that in some situations, you might feel, but STEM graduation rates are at an all-time high, or not all-time high. More women are in STEM. There's a lot of wonderful things. So it's so great because I think that the community is going to continue to evolve, always for the betterment of video games. And so, very
Well, the
rewarding.
gaming audience is also growing, like
completely.
more. There's more female audience
Yeah.
in the gaming audience, right? So this is just echoing all of that.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I don't. Oh wait, thank you so much.
Okay, go.
I don't want to yell, but thank you so much for hosting this panel. One thing I was wondering was if you had any advice or anything you learned in the first 2 years of your career to set you up for success.
I can start.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say is get involved with everything with as much as you can. And so I started as a data analyst for a very big game developer that has multiple studios. And I was fortunate enough that I had my time split between both central functions and studio functions. So within the studio, I was helping product managers to develop experimentation plans and develop feature plans where I have to write on like, how are we tracking data? Like, how are we measuring the success of features? And that not only means I needed to understand the KPIs to how to evaluate a game success, I also worked with developers on understanding, okay, like what are the things that we can track when users behave in a certain way? And I also work with designers on, okay, how can we design a game so that we can actually measure this game mechanic, right? So even though I was working in a data function, I was involved with pretty much everyone within the gaming development side. And then on the central side, I was working with multiple studios, understanding their success metrics, and also with marketing to understand what kind of other market intelligence data they can have. So I think I was very fortunate that I got involved with all these different disciplines, but that also set me up for success in the future, that I know what I should be curious for and what I should further develop in order to help more disciplines to succeed.
I like that you said curious because I think that's a big part too. That yes, you have a job description and I am an HR person and you should follow your job description. But if there are things that people ask you to do outside of your job description, that is sometimes it's a trust offering where they trust that you would be able to get those things done. So they want you to do it. And so there's a give and a take, of course, of saying yeah, I can do this or maybe I can't do this. But if someone's reaching out to you with an opportunity, assess it for the risk, but for the most part, I said yes to probably far too many things, and I'm having an absolute ball. I've learned so much through that, and so again, that the door is open, and if you can build trust with other people and things like that, then kind of the world is your oyster, that kind of thing.
There's one thing I learned from my career is everybody's special. You have many different skill sets, but when you join that team or in the company, find what you're good at it. Be the best, to be honest. So that's gonna make you stand out in, the time, the time will come.
Yeah.
So for example, like when I joined Xsolla, to be honest, I have a very limited knowledge of payment, but yeah, I know mobile gaming, I know developer, but I'm good at data, I'm good at business forecasting because I'm coming from corporate.
Yeah.
I'm very confident and one of the best here. Yes, that's why I'm able to handle those some even critical situation or in negotiation. And another advice, actually, I learned from my very big first career is I always have a company wiki. What does it mean? So when I joined the company, you have lots of trainings, or I would hear the not latest company deck, product deck. Yeah. But yes, you have many folders. We're human beings. We forgot 80% of things happened yesterday, right? Yes. So I have almost 200-page Xsolla. This is my wiki. So you can use Google Doc, whatever. So this is what I just learned yesterday by category. This is a presentation. I also, because I was on a lot of calls and meetings, there are a lot of situations because I know going to happen to other new, partners, clients.
Yeah.
This is what we reply. This is what we said.
Yeah.
Solve the problem, move the things forward. I capture that, put in my wiki doc, and next time happen again. That's a standard answer, so I don't end up to, for example, legal, HR, tell me, is there another Jira ticket? No. Well, of course, we need help in some, but if this happens already 2 times, 3 times, you don't have to bother your coworkers. You can, there's a success, so that's my company wiki.
I love
that. Secret,
Knowledge base.
Yeah.
Yes. I hope we answer questions.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, ladies. We have just come to time, so we want to thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, that was so fast.
for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah.
Okay. And enjoying GDC, and we have coffee, snacks.
Yeah,
upstairs.
everything's upstairs, and then
Yeah, feel
we've
free.
got our career page here if anybody's looking to apply for any of our jobs, and I'll be around all day, and I can help you out if you
Interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy to.
you.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.